Hi Virgo, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload many videos for Virgo and Pisces on Saturday. Also, for those of you guys who are interested, the deck that I'm using today is called the Sola Busca Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description below. Also, just as a heads up, these cards are a little bit bigger than most cards, so it's a little harder to get cards to jump out like normal. I do usually only take the jumpers, but if I need to pull some cards, I will. But the cards that flip over in the deck, I do see them, however, I won't usually take those. But the plan here is to get you guys about 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your overall energy. So the energy that I'm getting here, just from the way the cards are shuffling, because they usually don't shuffle, they don't usually all jump out like that at once. So I'm getting that you guys are dealing with a lot of sort of chaos, a lot of something that you need to really organize, I feel. And I know that there's that stereotype that Virgos organize, but I do feel like you guys are doing a lot of spring cleaning, both like physically and metaphorically. But I do just want to take this opportunity to remind you guys that the best way for me to know if these readings resonate with you guys is to leave a like or a comment. But with that being said, your overall energy here is this of the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands to me talks about a level up in commitment. It's usually what I like to call my commitment level up card, right? And a lot of times it talks about marriage. I don't think marriage is very relevant to a lot of you guys, and I feel like it's more commitment to a situation. So I feel as if there's a situation that you hadn't really been able to give your full attention, and now that you're sort of in a different mind space, you're more able to easily dedicate more time and energy to this. I feel like for a lot of you guys it had to do with work, and I feel like you guys have had recently a lot of probably even Tower energy for those of you guys who have been watching this reading right now. And as a result, you're sort of entering a new period of abundance because now you have the space open for it. So I'm getting definitely for a lot of you guys, there was a lot of clutter I'm definitely getting, and now that it's like you just took the mess and parted it over, and now you're able to actually focus on something more than you have in the past. And I feel like it's been not of any fault of yours. I just feel like you've had so many things on your plate stacked at once that it's been really difficult for you to actually sit down and say, okay, item A on the list, item B on the list, item C on the list. And it's almost like to go do this this task, you need this done, and then to do that, you need that done, and now the car tire popped, so now you need to get a new tire, and it feels like you've been on a wild goose chase for a lot. But I definitely feel that now is the time that you're coming out of that energy, because you have the Fool, and then you have the Sword in reverse here, or rather the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, I don't really like to see any of the Court cards in reverse, because a lot of times I feel like that's a very low vibrational, immature kind of person, right? And the Queen of Swords is no exception. The Queen of Swords is very emotionally cold. So the things that they say might be hurtful. I feel like they might be out to really hurt someone's emotions or someone's feelings, probably you. I feel like this Queen is relentless. Like, you're just trying to get your point across, and this person, you know, when the queen or the king of swords are in reverse, they go for the jugular, right? So I feel like this person takes everything personally, and they're emotionally immature, and they think that they're some kind of fact machine, and whatever you say is wrong to them. And I feel like you're just kind of sick and tired of their energy. You're really sick and tired of having to hear somebody really like try to explain like your own thoughts to you and why you're wrong and all that. And that's why I feel like you have this Fool card here, because I feel like you're really walking away from that energy. You're entering a new cycle in which this queen is no longer acting this way. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, especially with the Six of Wands here, you're going to start seeing some kind of success when it comes to trading with this person, because I feel like this person is a recurring character in your life. They might be some kind of coworker or boss or partner or even family member. I'm getting that it's a mother for a lot of you guys. I should note that the Queen of Swords is oftentimes representative of a air sign, so that could be Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And I feel like this immaturity is really starting to get on your nerves, and I feel like you guys in a lot of ways are dealing with the balance that comes with maintaining the peace and also, you know, working towards the best solution. Because I feel like a lot of times you guys are put in a situation with this Two of Pentacles, because the Two of Pentacles talks about balance and juggling. I feel like a lot of times you guys are put in a situation where you either are having to pick between the groupthink or the solution that's actually what you need to get done, right? So it's like either choose between getting things done or choose between hurting someone's feelings. And I feel like that time's over, right? Because now we have the Fool. It's a new beginning. You're not like against a rock and a hard place anymore, and you're seeing victory, right? It's very interesting because like this person seems like they're very downtrodden on their luck. It looks like they have a diaper that's falling off. Their shoes are broken. They're carrying all these wands, but the Six of Wands in itself talks about victory. So I think that for a lot of you, no matter what kind of a situation you're in, you know, and no matter how embarrassed you are of like what's going on around you, you don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to feel bad. Like, this too shall pass. I'm getting for a lot of you. I don't know if any of you guys are particularly religious in that sense, but I do get that there's going to be some kind of surmounting an obstacle, right? Because we have the Lover's card here. Now, the Lover's card oftentimes talks about, you know, love. It's often very straightforward, but what is sometimes forgotten about the Lover's card is that there's this quality of surmounting obstacles that's associated with it, right? I always think of two lovers that are on either side of a field and they have to run to get to each other, right? And along the way, there's a lot of little obstacles. There might be stuff that they're stepping on, or just small little things. They need to watch their step, right? And those things add up. But at the end of the day, they both get to each other and they hug and they embrace, and then they're happy. And I feel like oftentimes we get we lose ourselves in this embrace that we forget the obstacles that we have to face to get there, right? And I feel like that's where you're at right now. You're surmounting all these obstacles, and I feel like for some of you, you might even have the extra sort of cherry on top of a supportive partner coming in if you don't have one already. But I feel like there's a lot of financial surmounting of financial obstacles here, especially since we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles talks about sometimes egocentricity, sometimes it talks about selfishness, hoarding resources to yourself. But because we have the Lover's card here, I don't feel like it's necessarily any of those sort of lower vibrational negative qualities. I feel like this quote-unquote hoarding of resources is coming from a place of love, right? So I feel like some of you guys might be setting up like some kind of a trust account, or might be getting access to that, or you might be handling someone else's finances or something. And I feel like there's another group of you guys who are, or rather who have been giving and giving and giving until you're blue in the face, and now you're sort of allocating a lot more of those resources to yourself. Because one of the very hard lessons that people, especially empaths, need to learn is that in order to give to others, first we need to be in a position to give. right? And that's very difficult sometimes for empaths because they really feel and empathize with other people and they want to help. And that's a very innate quality of a lot of people that are like that. And as a result, you know, you end up with this sort of unhealthy behavior where you're giving until you can't give anymore. But with the Judgment here, I feel like you guys are self-assessing a lot. And I feel like it's in a more literal sense that you're being divinely judged. And I feel like your actions that you're taking align with your path in life. And as a result, you're sort of being rewarded with this Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning. And I feel like there's like two simultaneous paths, two simultaneous storylines happening here. And there's three groups of people. There's the group of people who are surmounting some kind of a financial obstacle and receiving some kind of a new beginning with somebody like this, possibly in work. There's the people who are also receiving a new beginning in love with the Lovers and the Ace of Cups here, and the Fool, right? And then the Six of Wands and all those energies of love with another romantic partner. And then there's that third group of where both are happening, right? And I feel like for a lot of you guys, especially if you're in the love group, you're seeing a lot of stable love here because you have this new beginning with the Commitment card and the Lovers. Like, this is a very powerful card combination. And the Six of Wands. So I feel like no matter what you do, regardless of if it's in your, you know, love life or sort of financial sector, you're going to see victory and you're going to see improvement. You just really need to stick it out, and you really need to sort of keep your chin up. And I feel like Capricorn had a very similar message, so especially if you have any Capricorn placements, that might be worth checking out. But I feel like you guys have been playing this balancing act for long enough, and now you're sort of being rewarded for that, because I feel like you've been on your best behavior and you haven't like ruffled any feathers, at least on purpose or anything like that. And you know, I say good on you for sticking it out so long and really surmounting all these challenges that you've had. But that was your reading for this time around, Virgo. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment. It really helps the channel, and I personally really love to know if it resonates with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Virgo on Saturdays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.